what seemed to be of relevance to still quite a number of Ghanaians, but specifically to motorists. Now, the Institute of Energy Securities, IES, wants the National Petroleum Authority, NPA, to be swift in averting what it describes as an imminent fuel shortage in the next 2 weeks. The development follows the low levels of fuel stocks by the Tema Oil Refinery and the Bulk Oil Storage and Transportation Board. The institute also explains that the shortfall has been instigated by the temporal shutdown at Tor due to the explosion of a furnace. If nothing is done about it, we will have constraints when it comes to fuel supply on the market. Principal research analyst at the IES, Richard Roxon, said that it is very likely to be problematic if something isn't done about it in the shortest possible time. We would want to speak quickly to an energy expert who probably can advise as to, first of all, what can be done about it, and then also, really, are we likely to have fuel shortage in the country? If so, how bad can that be to our current circumstance? We've been joined by Kojo Nsafua Poku, who is an energy expert. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you very much for joining us.
Hi, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Hi.
Okay, to start with, this particular concern raised by the Institute of Energy Securities, is it really that threatening that maybe in a period of 2 weeks, the country could be running
well, I really don't know. When I heard the story, I really don't know where they did their maths and the research from. But everybody knows that in the last 18 months in Ghana, Tor has not really featured in our importation of fuel. We've really become a BDC country where the BDCs does most of the fuel importation. What you will realize is that even in 2016, the total of gasoline, which is what we call petrol, was imported. It's about 1.3 million metric tons from January to November of 2016. Tor, gasoline from Tor was only about 2,443 metric tons. So it's about 0.1% of petrol that came from Tor. Gasoline is even around that same 0.1%. In terms of market share, Tor's market share in the last 3-4 years is about 13%. So honestly, Tor's
activity or inactivity would be blamed or can be blamed on the explosion. And do you think that that is justifiable reason enough why they are not too active in?
No, honestly, we don't know the truth. Now that there's a new management in Tor, we are beginning to know some of the truth at Tor. Look, for the past, since 2008, there hasn't been any scheduled maintenance of the machines at Tor. Now, because of the explosion, the new management is trying to use that opportunity to do the needed maintenance, because there's a maintenance that has not been done for 8 years. So they are going to close the refinery down for like 6 to 8 weeks, take the opportunity to do the maintenance that they're supposed to do, and then fix the problems that arise as a result of the explosion. Okay. But you see, in the past, we were told that, staff of Tor gave their salaries, Tor is in good step, people will come in the media and blow their own horns about
probably
how well.
That one mainly had to do with the recovery levy, and then monies they needed to clear the debt. So maybe this has to do with the operations.
We've been paying this debt and all these things, recovery levy or not. We've been paying. At the point we're even told that Tor made a profit by sending fuel to Nigeria. I mean, all these things were stories that we're hearing. But the situation on the ground is much to the contrary. But I mean, the bottom line is that Tor needs to work. I've always been an active advocate of Tor working, because if Tor works, ex-refinery Tema is much cheaper for Ghanaians than ex-refinery Amsterdam. So if Tor works, we would be able to get fuel cheaper in Ghana. For the last years, we've not had that benefit, and we, the Ghanaians, are the ones paying the Tor recovery levy. So
the concern actually about a possible fuel shortage, we cannot tell.
No, it's not likely, because what Tor brings into the system in the last 18 months is really negligible compared to majority. Over 90% of the fuel is brought in by BDCs.
Oh, okay. So the development at Tor
they would not have any. That's what I'm saying, that from January to November, out of the 1.3 million metric tons of gasoline that was brought in, Tor only did 2,400, which is 0.1%. Okay. So Tor's contribution is significant. Tor's in the scheme of things now, even if Tor was doing, let's say, 5%, and there's a shortfall, BOST and the other BDCs can be made to bring it in to avert any shortfall, augment anything. I don't think there's fear, and nobody should panic about any shortages.
Okay. All right. Thank you for those reassuring words. So the motoring public would not have any concerns or anything to worry about. But thank you very much. And,
thank you very much.
Hopefully we'll have you back in studio.
No problem at all.
In the next few days. So we'll be speaking to Kojo Nsafo-Apoku. He is an energy expert and has been watching developments in Ghana and around the world with regard to energy and power and all of that. All right. So this is still Media Live.